What is up, Mets fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Mets'd podcast. Some way, somehow, the Mets lose another series to the St. Louis Cardinals. We told you they had to win 2 of 3 to have any semblance of life, and they won 1 of 3. So, yeah, going to talk about how this team is struggling. Yet again, it's 2026. It's a day that ends in Y. The Mets are still not good this year. Before we get going into it, make sure you guys are subscribed to Mets'd over on YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you click that subscribe button. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, drop us a rating, drop us a review, download and subscribe. And this is a cry for help. We need a 3rd episode idea. Nice job, James. Way to get that fly. You've gotten a lot of flies on this podcast.
Summertime, air conditioning unit, like they just get in. It's New York City.
Sneaky little flies. Give us an idea for a 3rd episode. We're dying for it. I don't know what we're going to talk to you guys about. Me and James don't have a decision yet. We'd love to get your input. Before we do that, though, let's talk about this Mets team and a god-awful, terrible, no-good series against the St. Louis Cardinals.
I mean, it's just terrible. It was like for all of the air to be sucked out after a fun weekend that quickly, where it took 11 innings to be outscored 14-0, and you're just like, oh, you have no chance to be competitive against one of the teams that, if you ever work to get back into the race this season, which you won't, you have to be competitive against. Again, like, bang, gone. All the momentum from, again, a very nice weekend against the Padres. Your theoretical ace is on the mound, gone in the blink of an eye, and then it gets even worse, compounded the next day when you can't even force a rubber game in a series.
Yeah, I mean it's the classic thing we've talked about this entire season, which is Mets don't play good baseball. They don't pitch particularly well. I know the pitching numbers ERA-wise is in the middle, but that is now kind of being carried by the bullpen, which is kind of insane to say. But the starting pitching has been pretty weak over the last month or so. The offense has been anemic basically the entire season. And I know that there's injuries, and I know there's things going on, but I think this is just the team that it is, and I do think that, like, anybody holding out hope right now, I appreciate you. You're a special person. I don't know how you can do it, because watching this team every single day playing in these series, it's Groundhog's Day. They do the same thing over and over again, and it's consistently bad baseball.
This probably doesn't make any sense, but might make sense to some people. The only reason to continue to hold out hope for the Mets is just from watching the Knicks, understanding that things are not over when they seem over. But
yes.
Then we'll get to that way later on. But I feel like I want to start with Freddie just because, again, he's your theoretical ace. He's the guy that was brought in to be the head of the staff. You've won 2 out of 3 games against a team that is ahead of you in the standings in the National League. You have a chance to do something similar in a series at home. And he just got pieced. He just got straight up pieced. And the whole sequence that destroyed this game was in the 3rd inning, where it wound up being 11 straight fastballs that kind of ruined this game. But I do think that isn't the entire story, but it's part of the story, because when the inning began, oh my God, it's another fly. I'm fly that right now.
I mean, it's raining so hard right now.
Yeah, I just got the beginning of the drips right now. So I guess that from Queens to Brooklyn, it's coming this way.
Pouring.
But the inning began against Nolan Gorman, and there's nothing that frustrates me more than when a pitcher gets to start an inning against a hitter or hitters low in the lineups, and any combination of 7, 8, 9, and you do not throw strikes. No. I understand that Nolan Gorman still has plenty of raw power. Nolan Gorman is a hitter that you probably still have a relatively game plan against because he can't hurt you. But to throw Nolan Gorman 4 fastballs outside the zone to begin an inning is just it's egregious. And then he threw 6 fastballs in an at-bat to Nathan Church? Nathan Church, right?
Nathan Church, yeah.
Nathan Church.
God, don't even get me started on that at-bat.
He definitely has. Nathan Church is a player that has things. He definitely can be a good player.
He's going to be like a 4th outfielder. That's like his ceiling.
That's a fine thing to develop internally from a nothing prospect. But 6 fastballs to Nathan Church. When you got up 2 strikes, there were some fouls, there were some misses, and he hits a double. And then a first pitch fastball again to J.J. Weatherholt, who just I was with my dad at the game on Thursday. Has there ever been a more Cardinal than J.J. Weatherholt?
Oh, that is the epitome of the St. Louis Cardinals. Like J.J. Weatherholt.
They built him in a lab to be a Cardinal.
I'm surprised he didn't play for the Cardinals since 1970. Like, it's crazy. This is only his first few months being a St. Louis Cardinal at the major league level, because it feels like I've seen him play for that team my entire life.
But again, ready for a first pitch fastball, because you just saw 10 get thrown to the 2 hitters before him, laces an RBI single. So that was 11 straight fastballs to that point, which there was some conversations on Twitter and just on the internet in general about Francisco Alvarez in his first game back calling for 11 straight fastballs. There were some shakeoffs in this mess, and Freddie Peralta was also missing spots with a lot of these fastballs. Yeah. And also, as we got to the rest of this inning, then he threw a changeup first pitch to Ivan Herrera that missed. Then he threw a sweeper that hung that Ivan Herrera smacked. And then right after that, Jordan Walker laces a 114-mile-an-hour double, ripped it in the gap on a changeup. Another pitch that was right over the heart of the plate. So there was the conversation about the fastballs and Francisco Alvarez calling games. So I don't think that he's great at. But also at the same time, right when we went away from the fastball, Peralta couldn't land anything either. So I didn't like all the fastballs in a row. Couldn't land any of the secondaries. And it wound up being a catastrophic inning that basically ended the series right there.
And it double sucks because the Mets are playing poorly. Freddie Peralta's not helping us. But, too, like you see an article from Disha Thosar talking about how great of a guy Freddie is, how the locker room loves him.
Definitely true.
How he's, like, legit one of the best dudes that the Mets could have in there. Like, a good culture guy. But the way that he's pitched recently and, honestly, just kind of his entire tenure as a New York Met, it's not particularly great. Like, looking at his 14 starts that he's made for the Mets right now, I'm counting – I think 3 starts where he's walked less than 2 guys out of his 14, which that's really bad because Freddie doesn't go deep into games. He's rocking like a 1.3 whip. His ERA's in the 4s. His K rate's down. He has the highest walk rate of his career, I think, since like, 2021? Like, it's just a bad version of Freddie Peralta. This is the worst K rate of his entire career.
That's where I was going to go with it. He's always been kind of chaotic, Freddie Peralta. Like,
yes.
And he's always walked batters. He's never really pitched deeply into games. But the thing that Freddie always leaned on were the strikeouts. And the strikeouts always got Freddie around. And the strikeouts would always kind of come together basically one start of the month for Freddie Peralta, where he'd have the 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and just cruise. And that was the Freddie Peralta that everyone kind of always dreamed about. And that was the Freddie Peralta that always was like tantalizing. And then it felt like over the last 2 years, or especially last year, he got himself to that Freddie Peralta more consistently. But now we're seeing more of the early career versions of Freddie Peralta. And oddly, it's happened like the backwards way than he was early in his career. Early in his career was fastball Freddie with a nice slider. Sliders disappeared. He gets, especially this game against the lefties, against the Cardinals, though, it was basically all lefties, so slider disappearing is not that crazy, but he can't land the other pitches. And then the fastball's down to like 92 miles per hour. He's not really missing many bats.
90. It was like what are we doing?
It's just, you're not that, it doesn't really feel just that easy. There's never those easy starts for Freddie Peralta, or at least there hasn't been yet, again, in his Mets tenure. So that's been the disappointing part. But also, like, his ERA jumped up from 3.6 to 4.0 in this start.
And I will say, I saw someone on Twitter, because I was talking about how, like, they tweet out his line again, and this is also coming off the news of the extension that he's looking for, possibly from agent talk, and more so just being like, I like Freddie, like, but he has to be better. Like, this version, if this was Sean Manaea, we'd be like, yes, thank God. If this was David Peterson, we'd be on our knees praying to the baseball gods. Like, oh my God, what an
this
incredible...
David Peterson, you would wake up.
Yeah, we'd be like, wow, like, what a dream that is. For Freddie Peralta to be this guy, it's not really acceptable. And someone replied to me and said, welcome to the Freddie Peralta experience. He was an American Family Field merchant. And it is interesting looking at his career splits. He is significantly better at American Family Field. Like, that's the best place he pitches at in terms of, like, legitimate innings. 500 innings with 3.19 ERA. I think his career ERA is, like, significantly higher than that. He owns that place. Like, what is going on? Why can't he pitch at Citi Field when he's on the Mets?
What is it about American Family Field? Why would someone pitch better than American Family Field?
I have no idea. Besides the fact that, like, I mean, we've watched games on TV. It's a horrible place to watch a game not at the ballpark. It's, like, dark. It's got the weird windows in the outfield. It's normally a hitter's park, though, for lefties.
It is, but American Family Field right now, just looking quickly at the StatCast park factors, it has the second highest park factor in all of baseball for strikeouts.
Interesting. I mean, that could also be Jacob Mizorowski this year.
It could, but it's a 3-year rolling average. And that could also be the things that you're talking about, because number one is always T-Mobile Park in Seattle, where hitters always talk about the difficulty of seeing the ball there just because of the way their batter's eye is aligned. But maybe that's something. But again, that's...
Like, career ERA 3.6 at American Family Field, 3.19. That's a huge difference.
But this also should all be hearsay at the end of the day. Like, Freddie still has good stuff. The command goes in and out. Like, there is an array of secondary pitches. Sometimes he just can't land. It has just been a disappointing sequence so far. But it's also not that far away from what we thought was, like, the median outcome for Freddie Peralta, which is probably the most frustrating part. But the fact that he's operating at the lowest end of that is where it gets annoying. I
think I had different opinions on Freddie Peralta before last season. I think last season I thought we saw him really take a step forward and really become, like we've talked about, a top 30 pitcher in the game, where before I thought he was like a top 50 guy. I didn't think he was necessarily a guaranteed top 30 and ace. It just doesn't feel like the stuff is that sharp. I know you said, like, he has good stuff. We've seen good stuff. It doesn't feel like we've seen it this year. And I am kind of looking to, like, Justin Willard here for a little bit of help. Like, I thought we're trying to be nasty in the zone. Freddie's not doing that. He is not picking up on the nasty in the zone stuff at all.
Well, then maybe, again, back to that cataclysmic third inning. It's like the only pitch you're going back to is your fastball, and then we see why afterwards, because those secondaries were not nasty in the zone. Those secondaries needed chase, but he wasn't getting chase because he couldn't place them. But his fastball, you couldn't use that to get ahead. So it kind of just feels like a snake eating its own tail.
Yes.
It all goes around, but he's right now, again, he's the worst version of himself. And it's not what we want to see as we head to the trade deadline, because we want to create some kind of bidding war here for Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, because we are firmly on board of the Mets are not doing anything this year, so might as well trade Freddie Peralta. And I would like to trade him back to the Brewers. Let's see if we can do a swap. You think we get Jet Williams back for Freddie Peralta?
I think we can do better than Jet Williams at this point. He hasn't had a great season either.
My dog Bella would do anything for a treat, and I want to give her a treat that will take care of her long term.
And a quick message from today's sponsor, the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. If you're frantically looking for what to do with your pup when they have an issue, the program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier to get your pet the care they need. When you enroll in an ASPCA Pet Health Insurance plan, you could get a $25 Amazon gift card. It's a little treat for you while you're doing something great for your pet. To explore coverage, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/foul. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/FOUL. Eligibility restrictions apply. Visit aspcapetinsurance.com/Amazon terms for more info. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance.
Freddie stunk. The offense was terrible. I was there on Tuesday night. The vibes were
insane.
Horrible. Also, I have to talk about this. So it was Puerto Rican Heritage Night. Great. I love when Citi Field does that. There used to be a Greek Heritage Night. I don't think they do it anymore. Miss it. Bring it back. Citi Field, Steve Cohen. But they gave out Puerto Rican Mets jerseys. We're playing the St. Louis Cardinals. Can you guess what color jersey they gave out? They gave out a red Mets jersey. I understand Puerto Rico, one of their colors is red. One of their colors is also blue, and the New York Mets wear the color blue. You knew what day this was going to be on the calendar. You knew what team you were playing, and yet here you are packing the stadium full of Puerto Ricans wearing red jerseys against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals fans travel like crazy in red. It felt like we were playing an away game. It was insane.
That's kind of funny. I didn't realize that.
So fucking stupid.
That is dumb. Also, I mean, that's also we talk about the synergy in the organization again.
There's no thoughts.
Marketing not thinking about baseball. I want to shout out to Anitas from the Caribbean Social Club in Williamsburg. She threw out the first pitch. I thought that was really
was she
cool.
The one in the Bad Bunny?
She was.
Nice.
She's like the fabulous old woman who has all the gaudy jewelry, and she's pouring her $3 tequila shots at the Caribbean Social Club. Hell of a woman over there. But what a couple months for her. On Super Bowl with Bad Bunny and now throwing out the first pitch at Citi Field. But again, all of this is still underscored by the fact that the offense sucks. Terrible. And this all laid right into Wednesday, which again, I think a lot of us out there were probably only had one eye on the Mets game on Wednesday at most because there was another huge game going on. But
I mean, I saw the first 3 innings, and then once the Cardinals went up big, I said, well, I'm just counting down the time until the Knicks get on. And I believe I scrolled to my phone for the rest because I can't watch David Peterson pitch anymore.
No, it's gotten to a point with David Peterson where it's completely, it feels impossible for him to be effective. I don't really know what the solution here is. He's both the
Surgery?
The stuff and the command right now are both terrible at the same time. And it feels like there's just no way to do anything. Like, we love when a pitcher, just in general, not even David Peterson, any pitcher on earth can, like, work the edges. And David Peterson sat hard. It felt like every single pitch. Like, David Peterson, the spread of hard hit balls versus whiffs, like, he has to have one of the worst ratios for those in all baseball. Maybe I'll try and find that for the next episode, for next David Peterson. I'll do some Savannah queries. But, like, it just felt like the sinkers were down the middle every single time. Like, you're not even getting a ground ball. You're just getting lace line drives. Sliders were hanging. Curveballs were bad. Fastballs were missing high. He has nothing left. Like, I don't know if this situation where he's not healthy again or he lost the confidence last year. It's a combination of those two plus him kind of butting heads a few times with the new pitching direction of the organization. But he looks more lost than he ever has in his entire career, which is crazy because this is 7 years of him pitching with this organization. And
He's been here a long time. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
He might be a free agent before the end of the year, but he looks so ridiculously bad. It's almost impossible to think about that like hot run he went on last year.
He made an all-star team. He made an all-star team.
He pitched in the all-star game.
I think he had a sub-3 ERA going into September.
Oh, maybe it's like August, but still.
He's been horrendous. Credit to the Cardinals. They hit the mistakes, something the Mets don't do, because while Dustin May has pitched better of late, Dustin May is still very hittable. Andre Palante sucks. I don't care what
Dustin May
anybody
looks
says.
decent.
No, he looks fine, but you should still be able to hit Dustin May if you're a competitive baseball team. He shouldn't be shutting you down by any means. He can. He has the ability to, but he shouldn't be. Andre Palante sucks. I don't care what anybody says. You should be absolutely lighting his shit up every single time. That curveball is so fucking bad and so predictable. Every time he gets 2 strikes ahead in the count, he's going to spike the curveball. Keith and Ron were talking about it. The catcher smacks the ground, and here's Bo Bichette. 0-2, swinging at it like it's 98. Andre Palante doesn't even throw that hard. They have no fucking clue at the plate. When there is a mistake, the Mets are either not swinging at it or they hit it for poor, horrible contact. At least, again, credit to the Cardinals. David Peterson saying, here's BP, and the Cardinals act like it's batting practice.
Yeah. Also, just talk about the Mets' offensive approach. A tweet here from Max Goodman. The Mets have made 9 outs in a row at the plate over the last 3 innings on 19 total pitches.
What are we doing?
The Cardinals have retired the last 14 Mets hitters in a row since Alvarez's home run in the 4th. 9-2 Cardinals on top of the 9th. This Mets team does have a thing where they do quit.
They give up.
Yeah, and that was again, not like the other team in New York.
No.
That's not a give up team. Mets are a give up team. The other team is not a give up team.
Mets go down 1. They say, all right, guys, pack it up. Let's get home. Watch the Knicks. Maybe they wanted to watch the Knicks.
This also wasn't down 1. This was down 7 in the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, no, I know.
So this is a little different. The game was over. Again, after a good momentum building series over the weekend with your theoretical ace on the mound, you're down 14-0 after 11 innings against a team that you should feel like you're on relatively equal footing with in the National League. And
That's the absolute worst.
At the absolute worst, you just got to go out there and play competitive baseball. And again, cool, nice to have salvaged the series on Thursday. It was nice in the first inning to pop the lid off. It was the hottest day in the world in New York on Thursday, if you guys were out there.
Disgusting outside.
And it happened instantly in that game. I'm hoping if anyone else was at the game on Thursday, they didn't show up late because, bam, home run the first inning Cardinals. That was Alec Burleson. One of the most impressive home runs I've ever seen in Citi Field. The ball was still
Mets.
It was still going up when it reached the Coca-Cola corner.
Yeah, he hit an absolute bomb. He's a good hitter, good baseball player. East Carolina.
Another guy, classic Cardinal. If he was on a different organization, it wouldn't even look right. But Alec Burleson's a perfect Cardinal.
Now.
John Kruk. See, John Kruk, was that his quote the other day about the hog?
The hog.
You didn't see this quote from John Kruk?
John Kruk had a quote about the hog, in the Netherlands?
No, not The Hague.
Oh.
It was about the tarp soft trend going around that we all love.
Okay.
That actually did originate over here in St. Louis, so I'm going to use that to try and anchor this conversation back to the series. But, oh man, it's so deep. I've liked every single tweet that exists about the Knicks, so it's a little bit difficult to find these other tweets right now.
Spread right now.
Okay, here it is. Is it not Kruk? Who does these Giants games? I know it's not Kruk, but
Kruko?
Maybe it's Kruko. Maybe that's why. 'Cause I just saw Kruk in the tweet. I know it's not John
Mike
Kruk.
Kruko.
Mike Kruko. So, and what's the guy's name? Cooper? With Kuiper?
Cooper who?
Dwayne
Kuiper.
Kuiper, that's it.
I was like, who are you talking about? Who's Cooper?
It was right before the Bryce Eldridge Grand Slam that won the game against the Nationals a few days ago. And Cooper was like, it may be more than tarps off if Eldridge knocks one out of here. And what's the other guy's name?
Which one?
Not Cooper. Kuiper.
Mike Krukow.
This is like the worst version of Abbott Costello ever. And Krukow, I'm going to hold you to it. Time to drop trow, hog out.
That's crazy.
He said that on the broadcast right before Bryce Eldridge to the walk-off grand slam.
That's kind of sick, honestly. I love
it was
that.
funny.
Giants broadcast is electric.
Great broadcast. Back to the Mets over here.
Bad.
But Thursday at least it was fun to hit dingers. That was cool. Bo Bichette and Jared Young ripping in the first inning. Again, very fun. Christian Scott did not pitch well, but he did settle in enough because the Mets bullpen was beleaguered heading into this game after the David Peterson fiasco from the day before. And even Freddie gave up 6 or 7 runs, got through 6 innings, which is very funny that was Freddie's 3rd or 4th 6-inning game of the season.
Yeah, he pitched like absolute dog shit. He's like, I'll go 6 though.
Yeah. Freddie Peralta says now 6 innings and 3 out of 4 starts. Earned runs in those starts. 6-1-4-4. God. It's funny as hell. But again, even when Christian Scott was terrible, the Mets desperately needed length. The ball was flying. He gave some of it. Still can't land a splitter. Struggled to land cutters. Once the lineup turned around, really just couldn't really do anything to put the lefties away. But lineup came out. Bo Bichette hit a home run. And Bo Bichette does this thing where he can't take the positives of certain at-bats into the next at-bats ever.
Not possible.
You said it last episode, and people were saying it on Twitter. the defiant call that Bo Bichette will have an 800 OPS from this point on.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I just don't feel like Bo Bichette's going to get right this whole season anymore. I know all of the data and everything objective tells me otherwise, but watching him play baseball day in and day out, watching his at bats in consecutive fashion, I just don't. It just doesn't feel like there's ever going to be consistency at them this season.
I'll tell you the truth, James. You want to know a little secret?
What?
I think the same thing. I was just trying to be positive. I was trying to not be so goddamn negative like I am in every single episode. Because, again, he does take, and I say this with no respect, he takes the worst at-bats I've ever seen for a baseball player. Like, every single time. I couldn't believe he pulled the ball for a home run today. I also go, why would you ever throw him a breaking
Hit it
ball?
well.
I don't know why you don't just throw him fastballs up in the zone. Honestly, throw him fastballs anywhere. He swings at every pitch. It doesn't matter if it's in the strike zone or not. As long as he's got it in his brain that he's swinging, he is going to. Nice hit. That's all I've got to say about Bo Bichette. Didn't do anything else this series.
I mean, I wanted to think that. I'm trying to. That was a front door that Hunter Dobbins tried to put in him, a front door sweeper that he smacked out, right?
It was a horrible pitch.
Which,
it was
again,
an all-time bad pitch.
If that was the plan, I think that was a bad plan. It probably was just a mis-executed pitch because it wasn't like a hanger where it was just a spinner. It sat. It did kind of break inward. It was good. Again, good piece of hitting by Bo to stick with that. Similar to the Jared Young home run right after that. A splitter that was just the fattest pitch in the world.
Jared Young was like, whoa, I can't believe I got that pitch. Like, right around the base, he's like, that's me.
I love Jared Young. Jared Young puts bad to the ball. And nice in this game for Juan Soto to kind of put the team on his back to hit the double that set up the tying run when Jared Young drove him in because Jared Young and Juan Soto, that's a dynamic duo.
Jared Young, Canadian. You know who else is Canadian?
Who?
OG Anunoby.
That's not true at all.
He's not Canadian?
There's no. I think he was born in London.
Who am I thinking he is?
RJ Barrett was born. He's Canadian. Shea
OG's
Gilgeous-Alexander's Canadian. Andrew Wiggins is Canadian.
Not Canadian?
I'm 99%
He's
sure.
born in London?
I'm telling you, he's Nigerian, born in London.
He has no accent.
I think he moved out of London fast.
This is crazy. All right, whatever.
That was an insane pull right there.
Nuts.
You're just trying to yank this thing to Nick's corner. We're not going to let you do it yet.
So
We're not going to let you do it yet.
Want to talk about Ogugwa and the Knicks?
But Jared Young's great again. Juan Soto just putting the team on his back. Even the outs he made on Thursday were well struck. He had 4 hard hit balls. Like especially it's a bit of a struggle over the last week-ish for Juan Soto to get going. Felt like he got going in a big way in this game. And another game with the bullpen's this bullpen's nails.
Bullpen's good. Like, if I'm going to critique Willard for the starting pitching, I'll critique him for the bullpen. Bullpen's been great. He's been getting night in, night out great performances out of this pen, which was the one thing me and you were like, I don't know about this going into the season.
Was also very thankful of the hook on Christian Scott because even after those first 2 innings, he did settle in well. Like got through a very clean 3rd and 4th, got to the 5th, third time around the top of the order. While he was missing bats and while he also he was attacking the zone. The fastball had life, but then once hitters got on that time, I did like the fact that they went to Minter and brought in the lefty to face him after he couldn't get Jordan Walker out. Minter got the out, went through the up down, got the next one. Brooks Raley, easy inning. Luke Weaver, incredibly easy inning. Devin Williams, dominant inning. I was like, oh yeah, this bullpen actually is good, which is funny. This is the only part of this team we can kind of rely on day in and day out.
Really fun if we could get some leads by either the offense or our pitching. Someone's got to give us a lead somehow, some way.
Francisco Alvarez come back. He's hitting. It's nice to see him back on the field. For everything that people say about his defense, I just need his bat in the lineup. This lineup is desperate for it.
Truly couldn't care about his defense. I'm tired about talking about defense because we've tried defense. It's not working.
Yeah, similarly, the one guy in this team who all he does right now is defense, Brett Beatty, is just so woefully lost at the plate.
Yeah, we're probably
he's just
a few days away from having a conversation.
Francisco Lindor comes back. He just goes to the bench. Him and Mark Fiantos just hang out there and see if one person can save their roster spot. And Beatty has a better chance to because left-handed bat, better defender, better athlete, better attitude.
Positions.
Yeah, multiple positions. That's obvious. But again, he's
friend of the podcast.
Friend of the podcast. That helps too. It's just
Fiantos dodged us. Remember?
Yeah, he did a long time ago though.
I don't care. I'm holding a grudge.
That's it's just this team is it's just not very good. It's just not a very good team. Carson Bench also hit well.
Yeah,
kind of. He had a couple of bad games and he had good games. AJ Ewing made a bad play on Tuesday. He was backpedaling a lot this series on balls that he had to come in on, and there were a few times it felt like he was a bit tentative. The one on Tuesday kind of let the floodgates open a little bit, but then
the one on Tuesday, classic off the end of the bat, and from my seats where we were sitting, could see he took a hard step back. He just
step. I think he took a double step too.
Yeah,
back, and then bang in. He did the same thing a few different times on Thursday, but he recovered well on them because he's just so fast, just a freak athlete. This year is going to be about watching him and Carson Bench.
Yeah,
let's
see Juan Soto. Just enjoying Juan Soto.
Let's see those guys develop. Let's see if Bo Bichette can figure that out. Christian Scott again, nice to see him battle. He went very fastball heavy, even though that was a pitch that got hit hard early. I'm going to check what pitches the home runs were on here because I'm pretty sure from my vantage point.
Fastballs.
Yeah, there were a couple high fastballs. The Burleson one, too, that he got around on was not even in the zone. It was a few inches above it.
Yeah.
And he hung a sweeper to Jimmy Crooks of all people. But
Jimmy Crooks.
it's still
Shout out
that
Drake.
this is what we got right now. This team is just, it's a labor of love to watch this team. It was cool to see Pintaro come up and go immediately sent back down. I still like the stuff, but it was nice to see him mop up those innings. I do hope he gets a bigger opportunity at some point this season.
I think when we have an exodus of guys in the bullpen, that
He just gets a spot all the whole time.
yeah, because I got to assume that basically anybody is available in the bullpen if you'll take them.
Yeah, and I'm curious how this lines up. I do think it's a little bit of the Mets telling us something, pushing back both Nolan McLean and Christian Scott. I think that was kind of more about McLean, trying to give him an extra day, let that fatigue try to wear off a little bit.
Yeah.
I have an insane ad on my my ESPN right now.
What is it?
I can't even describe them and send it to you and show you later.
Okay, good to
Yeah,
know.
but this is insane. I'm gonna
NSFW?
take a screenshot because this is ridiculous. But anything else in this series? Even cleanup again. Just happy Alvarez is back. Kodai got shut down. Now he's doing a rehab start again. Jorge Polanco seems like he might come back and just DH.
Cool.
This whole thing is just ugh.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mess. It's a mess.
It's just not fun baseball to watch. They really knocked the wind out of me with those first two games. Like I had fun at the game on Thursday. We're going back on Sunday. Our plan is, but
Let's talk about maybe the atmosphere in the stadium. Tell me what it was like today, because I've noticed, one, that I'm not attempting to go to nearly as many baseball games as I've ever wanted to in my life, and then two, rode the bus to the game. I've now done all the transportation modes to the game. Just need to fly. But then
you gotta walk.
I gotta walk. I gotta do a walk to the game.
Walk to the game.
Walk
Because
to the game. That's like a punishment, and then I have to watch the Mets play.
Yeah,
Be sweaty and watch a shit team.
we should do it on a cool day. And that vlog should be the third episode that week.
Me and you just take a walk.
Yeah, we walk to the game with a little camera, and then that's the third episode.
Honestly, it's kind of a great idea.
I think it's kind of a really good idea.
Kind of a really good idea. All right. Besides the fact of that, I catch myself getting there at 7:05 now. I have
me
no
too.
interest in being in the ballpark early. They've completely ruined the pregame experience by turning the K Corner into Hard Rock's new offices for the casino that's going to be built. The Ebbets or Willets Point or whatever is completely fine. It's not my cup of tea. I don't love being outside of a stadium and paying stadium prices for beers before a game. There's nowhere to get food. It's just overall, I think the Mets have really botched a lot this year. It does seem like maybe baseball wasn't the main focus by everybody involved, but it's not a really enjoyable place to go. And even during the game, we've mentioned this before, it feels very distant. It feels like there's a disconnect right now where, they're still doing the sixth inning mayhem stuff. And just
I don't think they did it on Thursday, if I remember correctly. I also distinctly remember that there was no large entrance for Devin Williams out of the bullpen. It does feel like maybe they taper some of that back. It does feel like, I think distance is a really good word to describe it. It doesn't have the same neighborhoody feel the Mets always used to have as kind of this underclass underdog team.
And maybe that's us being a little too close to it.
Possibly.
Even as a kid, going to see horrible Mets teams, it still felt like there was a little bit of juice. The fans cared. There was stuff going on.
I was sitting in a big section of elementary school kids on Thursday. I'll tell you
They always
what,
bring the juice.
They cared. Those kids were screaming. There was some ad that flashed about, what's it, the one, the cheesesteak companies? It was an ad about cheese. And these kids recited the cheese slogan in uniform, in unison, for an inning straight.
That's crazy. It sounds also like my hell.
Yeah, it was. They were screeching. There was a bit of a headache leaving there. But again, happy the kids are out there having fun. But there is just you don't just feel baseball focused in that ballpark anymore. And it's good not to feel baseball focused because the baseball team sucks ass. But it is different. Even today, I was getting through my morning. I was like, I'm gonna get to this game a half hour early. And I was like, I don't really have to get there a half hour early.
I have no interest in being there more than 10 minutes before first pitch. Even some of the food things, the unique food things, they're not open every game now too. It's I
was impressed how much was open for the day game on Thursday.
Really?
Yeah, tons.
Tuesday,
The entire back right field section, every single stand was open.
Tuesday it was empty. They had nothing, and I felt like there was more people at the game on Tuesday.
Well, this is going to happen with this team because attendance is going to be way down the second half.
As it should be.
And we'll still go to some games just because I love going to games. But it is a weird feeling. Even last year, as the team was fucking slowly bleeding out and dying in front of our eyes, I still felt like I was having more fun going to those games.
Way more fun, and we were watching a collapse.
Yeah, a slow death. It's also starting to get to the point where things are starting to change there. The chop shops are kind of gone. Which that part is sick and surreal.
Parts Authority is completely gone. I couldn't believe it. It's been that long. I hadn't been to Citi Field in almost a month. My last game was the
Ewing
Tyrone
debut?
Taylor walk-off home run against the New York Yankees.
Nice. Yeah, my last was the AJ Ewing debut. I'm also 5-0 in
Or-
Citi Field this year.
It wasn't a walk-off home run. I guess it was a game-tying home run.
Game time home run. I don't know how can I be 5-0? That's a statistical anomaly.
Yeah, that's kind of great. To be fair, I think I'm like 7-2. Like it's
Maybe we're the problem. We just have to go
be.
more. Just we have to have more fun.
just not a fun experience if you like baseball.
Yeah, but I think it also is a really good experience if you don't like baseball. Like I
That's
think
a
this,
problem. I think that's a
this
problem
is,
in of itself.
I think this is awesome for corporate events. I think it's awesome for the kids at summer camp. Like I think that Citi Field is sensational for those things right now. Which
Not
again,
baseball.
maybe that's kind of part of the problem. Also, the baseball team sucks. So maybe if the baseball team was good, we wouldn't have these things. There's also there is so much mid-inning production.
Yes.
It's like there are even today. I was like, there's a lot of new videos going on here, and I'm like,
Tons
these
of
are
new
not.
ones.
They're all everything's really well made. I just don't feel hyped up.
No, well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're watching the Mets.
Yeah, and it was hot, but also I love the promotion they do with the $50,000 one, like second or third inning, where you have to throw it in that teeny tiny hole.
That is a good one.
That's like impossible. Has anyone ever done that?
It feels like physically, like using physics, it's not possible to throw it. You have to be so close to get it on an angle to go straight into a hole like that. It's not like the hockey thing.
I think you have to be throwing it like 90 plus to get there.
Yeah, you have to be throwing it on a straight line. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's not going to be a single person who can do that gets the opportunity.
I would love to know any of you guys if you've been in the game this season when someone's actually fulfilled that promotion. If you've seen it, because I want to know if that's happened. And then
I think they're going to tweet it out when they have. I don't think we've seen it.
I'll say another thing too. I do like the concept of the Mets introducing this like the race, like the uniform, the character race, the logo race for all the boroughs. It really gets strange that they keep doing this bit with the Bronx giraffe.
I mean, it feels personal. No, I know why they're doing like the Bronx
No,
draft
it's
thing.
weird
but, like,
little brother shit.
Yeah, it's to make fun of the Yankees. I hate things that aren't like natural. I hate that it's scripted. That's what bothers me. Like
it has to be scripted. We're going to make them actually fucking race
Isn't
every
that the
game.
whole thing with the sausage race where they just put normal people in the sausages and you
really?
sprint and run? Like I think
Steve
that's
Gelbs did that once.
I think that's awesome. I think that's what we need. I don't want like I get it. Like there's all these promos that they do, and they do the WWE, and they do the Darth Vader, and whatever. It's fun, it's production, but like, got it. Not competition. It's not real.
I feel like the Mets probably have so much data that I bet they like angle who wins that every single. I don't bet this, but I think I wouldn't be shocked. No, I still would be shocked. I think it could be slightly possible if the Mets angle like who wins that race every single game to like the demographics to know we're in the park that night.
It is June 12th, and the Mets are so bad that we're talking about how the Mets can fix the mascot race. I think it's time for us to go ahead and give a shout-out to today's sponsor of Mets'd, FanDuel. Baseball fans, the MLB season is in full swing, and FanDuel is giving you a chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. It's just another reason why FanDuel is the home of home runs. I know I will be picking Matt Olson every single day because he owns the Mets. So if you want to win some free tokens, Matt Olson's a free one.
Matt Olson, I mean, the Braves team took a hit with Ronald Acuna Jr. going back on the injured list with another hamstring strain this week.
Which means they'll play better.
So we're going to see a lot of Mauricio Dubon. We're going to see more Jorge Mateo. We're probably going to see some Hassan Kim. We're going to see Dominic Smith homecoming.
Oh, if he's on daily dingers, you should be all over him.
He's actually hitting. I'm nervous about this being an ugly series.
Oh, it's going to get very ugly. The Mets are going to get smoked. But hey, you ready to play your game? Head over to FanDuel.com/podcast to get started. That's FanDuel.com/podcast to opt in for daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball.
No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.
James, got the Braves coming to town, playing the Braves for the first time this year. Tell us who's going to shut us down and who they're going to hit 100 home runs off of.
I want you to tell me after I say the three pitchers for the Braves this weekend, who you're going to be the most upset shuts the Mets down.
Bryce Elder.
Well, he's one of them, but I think all three of these options are going to wind up killing a different type of Mets fan when we hear them all. So Friday night, 7:15, Apple TV game. This is one to watch. This would be a fun one to go to. Nolan McLean versus Spencer Strider. Saturday, 4:10, Sean Manaea versus Martin Perez.
That's got to be the lowest average mile per hour for starters in a very long time.
Probably this entire season that will be. And then Sunday matinee, 140. Likely we're in the ballpark. Freddie Peralta against Bryce Elder.
I will always continue to be the most angry at Bryce Elder because he stinks. He's got nothing.
Bryce Elder this year has done some fun things, changing the depth on the slider, adding a cutter, got bullied by Greg Maddux to try and stop being a strikeout pitcher, helps him actually strike more guys out. He is coming back to earth. He's on his way to doing that, but he is a better pitcher this year than he has been. Again, the cutter and the slider, those are big adjustments for him, and just not leaning on that sinker over and over again. Real skill-wise, he probably is still more like a 3.5, 4.0 pitcher. The 2.6 right now with the 1.0 whip, I don't know if that's going to hold, but again, all the power for him to keep going with that. Strather's the one that's weird.
Yes.
Strather's fastballs just never come back through the injuries.
No.
He throws 95 now with a very, very, very hittable shape. That's one that I would hope we can get around on. I don't have confidence.
Fastballs.
We don't hit anything. I don't have confidence we're going to get around on it, but that's going to be what happens. And Martin Perez is a throwback. Honestly, I'm flipped all the way back on Martin Perez. I love watching the guy. I love watching the guy pitch. He doesn't pitch like anyone in baseball right now. Like he's manipulating. No, but it's very different because Martin Perez is actually manipulating two seamers and cutters, working both sides of the plate against hitters from both sides of the plate. Like it's enjoyable for the art of pitching to watch Martin Perez, and we're not going to see many Martin Perez's the rest of the history of baseball.
Who do you think is going to score? Who do you think will have scored more, the Spurs in the second half of Game 4 or the Braves this weekend?
I mean,
30's the number.
I know. You don't think I know the number? Numbers tattooed on my soul, but. I always remember that horrible series in 2022.
Yep.
No, it was 2023 when we sucked. And
2023, yeah, Luis Guillorme got into pitch a little bit.
They came into town and they sunned us. They put up like 50.
Yeah, that was like, I think one of the last times I left the game early. Me and my parents went, and because we'd worked for the team and we had tickets or whatever, I was like, we could just leave. Like, I don't even feel bad about leaving this one early.
Yeah, I mean, this Braves team also, they're not. It's funny because when you think of a Braves team that's playing this well, this Braves team I think still is the best record in baseball heading into play.
I believe so, yeah.
They've hit very well this year. Like as a team, I want to pull up their exact ranking in OPS right now. It's good. It's third. It's behind the Yankees and the Dodgers, but it's more the Yankees and Dodgers are way ahead. The Yankees are a bit ahead. The Braves and then like the Nationals are fourth, and the White Sox are fifth, and then the Pirates are sixth. If you wanted to get a sense of that leaderboard right now, but. I've been just so much more impressed with the Braves pitching this year. The Braves have the best bullpen in baseball. The Braves, I think, still have the lowest starting pitcher ERA in all of baseball.
Shout out Jeremy Hefner.
Shout out Jeremy Hefner. I mean,
wear the jersey. You gonna wear their jersey on Sunday?
Yeah, actually, I will wear the jersey on Sunday. That'll be my small point of what's it called? I lost the whole word.
What is the word we're looking
Protest.
for? Protest. Yes.
My small act of protest. But the team is nasty. The Braves have like basically the four of the 10 best relievers in the National League right now, between Raisel Iglesias, who just blew, I think, his first or second save of the season a few days ago because the White Sox juju was even stronger than the Braves juju, which is
crazy.
Never thought I'd say that out loud. Dylan Lee now is 30% strikeout rate. He's disgusting.
Again?
Robert Suarez is still throwing 100, and he's also phenomenal. I think Jeremy Hefner told him a changeup, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that from the notes. And then Didier Fuentes. This is kind of what we hope that one of these Mets pitchers would wind up doing, being a very good pitching prospect who wasn't ready yet, wasn't a finished product. But the Braves have thrown him in the bullpen, given him a few bulk outings and a few spot starts, and he is phenomenal. Like, this was kind of what I kind of hoped heading into the season that Joe Natang would fulfill, and that he has him more so shuttling back and forth. I do think Didier Fuentes is even more of a finished product than Joe Natang right now, also like a 21-year-old pitcher. No, actually, I think he's still 20.
He's 21, I think. Is he not?
Yeah, even though Mark Baumann of MLB.com last year was really taking so many shots at the 19-year-old who was called up in a real hasty fashion by a Braves team that was reeling. Did you not see those tweets that he had?
Nah, I don't follow him.
Yeah, it was cringy stuff. I'll show you later.
He turns 21 on the 17th.
Oh, happy birthday, Didier.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Nice, good stuff. But Robert Suarez this year, the pitch that he's learned is a cutter. That's just it's just helped everything come together. He still sits 100. He's phenomenal. Chris Sale is still an ace. Oh, the camera went down.
Camera's done.
Oh, why does it keep happening with this camera? This doesn't happen ever.
Hey, what's going on?
So even when I do my personal videos, it doesn't do this, even when I'm recording for like 38 minutes. You talk for a second.
I'll talk for a second. I mean, listen, hate the Braves. Would love to see the Mets win some games, but we're going to be honest here. And, I mean, you guys know it. You've watched the Mets play. It's going to be tough. If you see us there on Sunday, come say what's up. Hopefully we will be continuing our 48-hour bender because the Knicks will have played Game 5 and we'll have an outcome that is, advantageous to us. But Yeah, I mean, the Braves are going to smoke our shit. They are going to absolutely they're going to hurt us. It's going to be like embarrassing as long as things go the way that they're supposed to. But also this season was supposed to go a different way. So maybe now the Mets will play well because they've been saving it till they start playing the Braves and Phillies. They don't think the season started yet.
There's a great line. I don't remember from Howie when I listened to the radio a few days ago because I'm trying to get more Howie time in just because it's the end of the season. Don't have much left. Or maybe it was Gary the next day. But the Mets, as of today, they've played 68 games. So that means we have 90, 80. I can't do math right now.
I'm not going to get you on that one.
Yeah, no, this team is just they just take it out of me every single day.
94?
Yeah. I think they said 26 or 28 of them left are against the Braves or the Phillies.
10 and 18 would be a huge win.
Yeah. But it is funny that we've gotten to this point in the season. We've played all these other teams. We have not played the Braves or the Phillies yet. And now the rest of our schedule is going to be like a quarter of our games.
Yeah, which, I mean, turn it on.
I'd like Keith taking the shots at the schedule. I appreciate.
Of course you do.
I really appreciate that because it was bullshit what the Mets had to do. Wouldn't have helped this team. This team was hopeless from the start. But it is insane that we've completed the West Coast portion of our schedule by June 7th.
And haven't played two of our biggest rivals in our division.
Our two biggest rivals.
Yeah, which is
like
insane.
why are we playing the Yankees before we play the Braves or the Phillies?
That should never happen.
Like why did we already play the home and home with the Diamondbacks and the Cardinals before we played the Braves or Phillies? It's fucking stupid. Whatever.
I miss the couple that would make the schedules. They're much better than these damn computers.
Way better than these damn computers.
Just like I like old stats, not these damn computer stats.
All right, Manny Machado. Anything else about the Mets before we go Knicks for a few minutes here?
Absolutely not. I want to talk about the Knicks.
Knicks corners.
Knicks
Begin.
corner. It feels too real. I don't know what to do. This is, for either of us, we've never been this close to a championship in any professional sport. You've seen it in Ohio State. In any professional sport, never seen this in our entire life. And even Ohio State, you love them, but Mets, Knicks, it's different for us. That was born into that.
It's also like I couldn't even formulate emotions watching the Knicks game on Wednesday night. Like I had almost what felt like the makings of a panic attack when they won.
Oh, I was watching with my girlfriend. We were on the couch. I was like, at halftime, she says, they can still win this. Where I was like, they're going to have to win each quarter by 15. And she goes, I believe. Live bet, bang, smashed, shout out FanDuel.
Nice.
I was 1,700.
I was doing the same thing. I was watching with my wife, and it was like she was like, yeah, they can still win. I was like, they can't. There's no fucking way they're going to win this game. And I was being very negative down in the dumps, especially after the way the game went on Monday, especially after all of the bullshit with the officiating, especially after that French fuck Wembanyama.
I fucking hate him.
But the superstition took over where I was working a recap shift for Roto World during the game. So like once halftime hit, I took out my laptop and I started just ripping. I started writing recaps and Rosie kept being like, hey, like, they're going to come back. They're coming back. And then I was like, they're not coming back. She was like, look, it's down to 20. I was like, I'm not even going to think about this till it gets to 10, single digits. So I'm just writing the whole time. And then it got to 10. And then I was like, I'm not stopping. Now that I've started doing something and I have to keep doing this. If I don't keep doing this, we're going to lose. And I'm just type the whole way through. And then once it actually happened, I like just combusted. I fell on the floor and I was like shaking.
Did the exact same thing. We were sitting on a couch. We have a sectional, so we're like laying on each side of the couch, watching the game, slowly coming back. Nobody saying anything. All of a sudden, my girlfriend sits up. Spurs hit like a big three to like make it from like 9 to 12 at one point. It's like, you lay back down. We don't move the rest of the game. I had to pee for 45 minutes. I had to pee so bad. No toxins leaving my body. We're keeping it inside till the game ends.
I like that New York City Department of Water and Sanitation. They put the tweets out about flushing. Do you ever see these?
No.
This happened during the halftime Super Bowl show, Bad Bunny, and they said like we got enough flushes in this period of time, right when the Super Bowl ended, that we knew that this many people were holding it in, and they said that like in like the 17 minutes or something after the game ended, they got like 7 times the amount of toilet flushes that would ever be used in that time span. They were like, you guys were all holding in this entire time.
I've got to follow that account. That's a must follow.
But it was the same thing. Like, RJ was telling me, she was like, why aren't you more excited? I was like, I can't change anything what I'm doing right now.
I didn't celebrate until
I didn't celebrate till the whistle.
Once we took the lead, I let out, and I didn't even consciously know I was doing it. I fucking screamed. I let out like a howl, and DC looked at me and was like, what the fuck just happened? And then the only other reaction before the whistle was obviously OG. the OG thing. And then when Josh Hart missed the layup, I tried my hardest to not fall on the floor and start screaming into the carpet.
I think the only person that might have been more mad than me in the Josh Hart moment was Larry David. His reaction went viral.
And I think it wasn't that he was mad. I think he thought he was going to die.
I think it's just there's so many cool storylines going on with the Knicks right now. Some uncool, but like I think one thing that really needs to be appreciated, not even just by like Knicks fans, but by sports fans everywhere, is how much literally Madison Square Garden willed the Knicks to a victory.
Yes.
There was a tweet that went around. I don't remember if it was the ESPN or the NBA account that said every single other team in the NBA Finals had trailed by at least 20 points at halftime. Not only did none of them ever come back to win, none of them wound up losing by single digits.
That's crazy.
The shortest margin of defeat ever by a team that was trailing in the NBA Finals by at least 20 points at halftime was either 10 or 11. And Madison Square Garden, when the Knicks cut it to like 22, was buzzing.
Insane.
They
showed Taylor Swift. She knew. They hit that 3 to cut it to 22, and she was dancing.
I'll say this. I don't want to hear a fucking word about Taylor Swift. I don't want to hear a bad word about her. Taylor Swift was there in the dog days of the Knicks. Taylor Swift was showing up when Louis Admonson was getting 35 minutes a night. Like she's actually been there in the mud more than half of these fucking Knicks fans celebrating on the streets.
She was rooting for the Cavs, though.
No, she was there with Travis. She's not rooting for shit. She might have been there rooting for the Knicks. We don't really know. She came. She was there.
She's no Kylie.
She was there in the dog days.
Let me know when she flies to Indiana to watch the Knicks.
She was in Cleveland watching the Knicks. But it was like, I just still can't even believe it happened. Like, I woke up today. I got like 4.5 hours of sleep just between like work and being excited and all this shit going on.
Stuff.
And then getting up today, I was like, I felt like it was like my coronation day. Like, I popped out of bed like a cartoon character, like flipped my legs and was like, boom, I'm up.
You know your camera went off, right?
Yeah, I was just chirping to give it some time.
Yeah, no, good to know. It's truly like that experience watching that game. I've never been that nervous in my entire life. Like, I literally, my heart felt like it was racing a mile a minute. I felt weak. I felt like I couldn't do anything. I felt like paralyzed by watching
mile a minute
this game.
that fast?
A mile a minute? Is that what it is?
I think you would say something like 100 miles a minute. A mile a minute seems like very slow for heart to beat. I think this camera might be
It's like 60 miles an hour.
That's not that fast.
That's so fast for your heart to beat.
If you're driving 60 miles an hour in Jersey, you're getting past left and right.
All right, fine. Besides the point, my heart was beating 100 miles a minute. There we go.
There you go.
And it was an unreal experience of watching sports, and I can't even believe what it must have felt like to be in the Garden for that. Like, I think I would have passed out. I think I would have passed out. I think I would have missed it. I would have been carted out. They would have had the EMTs all over me. There's no way that I could stand and watch that game. I was laying on my comfy couch, and I was in fear that I was going to pass out.
It's insane to think about the fact of how expensive the tickets were for that game and that it was relatively worth it.
It's the rare time ever where people who were like, I spent $5,000 for that ticket. I'm like, yeah, probably a good purchase right there.
No, it was just like this team is insane. Like
to bring it back to the Mets, talk about a team that picks up their guys. They pick each. Talk about a team, a unit, a cohesion. Oh my God, Jose Alvarado stepping up like that.
Brooklyn's finest. I love the fact that Josh Hart, who's always like the funny guy, especially in the press conferences, when he got into the press conference, he was so stern. Where he was like, "I need to thank OG Anunoby for saving me from a lifetime of regret." That was like poetry. Like, what a line that was. And like I think he was. You could feel in his voice that he was so serious that this would have ruined his basketball life if the Knicks would have lost this game after he missed the layup and didn't box out on the other side.
Oh, he had maybe one of the worst 15-second stretches ever.
But also in between that, he played an insane defensive possession on Stephon Castle and forced a turnover. Like because that's what he does. Like that's what this team does. Like Jalen Brunson, who was woefully inefficient for the first 3 games of the series. Like, you never stop shooting. And no one ever wants him to stop shooting. And for him to come out in that third quarter and completely light the team in the Garden on fire. And you know what the moment that game changed?
When Wemby did I'm in your head, and then the Knicks outscored them by 19.
That was one of them. We'll get to that in a second. I think it was in the third quarter when the Spurs took Wemby out for his usual few minutes of rest. And the Knicks quickly hit 2 shots. And Wemby spent 58 seconds on the bench and came back in. That, to me, was the signal to the Knicks that they're actually afraid you can do this. That was 100%. All of the proof that you needed, that you have them on their heels and it's time to go.
The announcers even mentioned this, a quick seat for Wemby back in the game. They were like, the Spurs feel like that they can't afford to have him out right now, and they're up by 25.
so happy for Mike Breen that
One
he got
more,
to call that game.
one more.
I'm happy he got to call that game.
Okay,
It's like that was a generational. Now that was one of the greatest at basketball games ever. If as long as you don't root for the Spurs
Which 99.9% of the country does.
or our French.
Yes, which who gives a fuck about them?
What a great tweet someone had. That was it's really poetic that Frenchman Victor Wembanyama just can't keep up with the New York work ethic.
That's nice. I like that.
Again, like there's a lot of extracurricular shit that's happened. We haven't even talked to you guys about game 3 because we haven't podcast since. We're not going to go too deep in the Knicks corner, but like there's some bullshit seems like happening with the refs. Also, a bit of it's overblown. Like some of it's just going back and forth where it feels like they're missing obvious shit. Like the back-to-back goaltend offensive interference.
It was crazy.
The not calling the 6-man on the court. Like there's weird shit going on where it's like I'm always going to defer to incompetence rather than
Rigging.
Conspiracy.
Like my tweet.
Yeah, so
I've been lighting up NBA Twitter. That's easy. Baseball Twitter is so much harder to get a viral tweet than NBA right now.
yeah, it's like swinging with a donut. But it's watching this team is like magical right now, and I only want to watch one more game.
Bring it home. Bring the championship home. End it on Saturday, and me and James will probably be awake for close to 60 hours straight if that happens.
Yeah, I won't stop.
If they win on Saturday, I will be awake until Ernie's birthday. We'll go to Ernie's birthday. We will bowl. I'll hopefully be able to drive back to New Jersey, get my infusion on Monday, and call it a day.
And then we're gonna do a podcast Sunday night, no doubt.
Oh man, that Sunday night podcast could be a mess.
Or it could be great, but I think that was. I mean, it's good Knicks corner. I'm filled with so much joy watching the Knicks that the Mets this week didn't even hurt me. And I guess I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you guys, again, we said this last episode, that aren't Knicks fans. You have to be a part of this Mets season, but
You should become Knicks fans.
there's a lot of joy in New York City right now, and it's really fun to be a part of.
Great week for the orange and blue.
Great week for the orange and blue, in relatively in general.
And that's it.
I got Frankie because we lost the series.
We lost series. Give me Frankie. I forgot about that.
Quick 10-seconder.
Welcome back, Frank.
Gentlemen, this is Frankie Peppers. How you doing? I got some feelings about only calling when things aren't going well, and I will save, gentlemen. But the Mets stink. Knicks in 5. Thanks, boys.
Knicks in 5. There we go.
Knicks in 5, locked in. Eyes on the prize.
Frankie, you're back now every single time. As long as you want it and you want to be on it, you're back.
Yeah, Frankie has an open invitation to the Mets'd podcast.
And that's it. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Mets'd over on YouTube. If you're listening to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. Drop us a rating, drop us a review, download, and subscribe. You can follow James on social media at
James Shiano.
I'm Draft Nick Mark. Knicks in 5. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace out, guys. Let's go Knicks.